Kim Jacobs, the Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Yes, everyone, it's the Kim Jacobs Show, and I'm so excited to have here with me Ms. Jacqueline Kaba-Harris. How are you today?
I am great. How about yourself, Kim?
I'm doing wonderful. Listen, it's going to be even greater today because we're going to get the opportunity to learn how people can improve their overall self-esteem. And it's some basic steps and tips that you're going to hear today right from Jacqueline Kaba-Harris. I encourage you to invite all of your friends, your family, your coworkers, people that you've been growing up from childhood and you knew they were maybe struggling in some areas. Tag everybody you know to invite them into today's broadcast. And Jacqueline, I don't know if you had a chance as well, but you can share it right from my Facebook page over to your friends also. So what I'm going to do is just give everyone 30 seconds before we kick off, because I wanted to tag some people too, and it's hard to tag while you're actually hosting, right? So I am going to invite people as well. Everybody take a moment and tag 10 people you know now and invite them to today's broadcast. Right, that was the quickest 30 seconds I have in my life.
I know.
Okay, and then just cut your device off or because it'll echo the whole time. But anyway, I hope you tag some people because we're talking with a woman today. Her name is Jacqueline Kaba-Harris, and her overall goal here is to be able to help people rebuild self-esteem and self-confidence by creating unshakable confidence. She believes that her story will help other women succeed in life and in business. And she was originally interviewed right here on the Kim Jacobs Show with our own Kern Cherry from the Power Up Summit that's happening on July 14th through the 18th. And so if you haven't registered for your Power Up Summit tickets, I'll share with you how to do that throughout today's broadcast. All right. So welcome again, Jacqueline. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so Jacqueline, tell us, you obviously look quite confident today, and you look beautiful and bright ray of sunshine, but how did it all kind of begin for you when it came to dealing with low self-esteem issues? Any time that you kind of remember that it really set in that I'm having some low self-esteem here?
Well, yes. So oftentimes people don't even realize that they're actually struggling. And this was the same in my case. It was only after looking back at it, I realized that I was kind of limiting myself. You know how you hear people talk a lot about placing themselves in a box, and right. The limitations are in our mind. So it's like looking back on it, I realize now that that's exactly what I was doing, that I was allowing other people's opinions of me to shape who I was and what I was capable of. So the way I actually began to recognize that was just by having an honest conversation with myself. Like a lot of times I would sit on the sidelines, so to speak, and cheer everybody else on, and congratulate, their victories and their wins.
Right.
But never felt that I could be in that place or that, any sort of dreams or goals that I had, that I would be able to manifest them. And so I actually really began to have to ask myself those hard questions. well, why not? Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
Right.
And so it began there.
That's interesting. Did you have family or supporters that told you you could do it along your journey? That you could, that you actually? Oh no, you did not. Okay.
No, which is actually how we, that's another question. But in terms of why did I have to rebuild it? So no, I did not, and still really don't now have a big, supportive, family and friends.
Okay. That's interesting. So were people actually discouraging you and saying, don't do that because it's not going to work for you. So I don't know why you would even try that. Or were they that kind of group in your life? Now you got to go home with these people. So I'm not trying to, I know I heard you laugh. So that's like, Kim, we ain't gonna talk about that too much.
You know what? I've talked about it, and that's also part of sharing my story, is because I think a lot of people are, ashamed of that, or they really allow those voices to get in their heads. You know what I mean? To get in their heads and really, okay, well, you know what? So-and-so didn't like my idea, or doesn't think that I can actually manifest it, or that people will buy my services, so on and so forth. And they just quit, so it's so detrimental and so important for us to have these sorts of conversations. But for me, even, being young as a little girl, 8, 10, 12, I was always told that I wasn't as smart as everybody else. And that I would have to try 2 or 3 times harder to do something in order to actually achieve it. So
but there was never a medical diagnosis or anything. It's just that people put that stigma on you.
Yeah, almost like, like we're all at a race and everyone else is at the finish line, but for some reason someone has me starting like a quarter of a mile, behind the finish line. So that was always what I was told. And I don't want to, this is a whole nother show, but what I've come to realize, and especially being a parent as well, is that someone can't teach what they don't have or what they don't know.
That's the bottom line. You only know what you know, and that's why you need experts and other people, mentors, and people that pour into you. Even experts that are billionaires, one of the biggest tips that they share is to connect with someone that you can learn from. So that may not be their wording, that's my personal wording, but at all times we should be willing to learn and grow and develop and never stop learning, because there's always something more that we can learn from somebody. And that's why God puts people here on this earth, is for us to all be able to have a gift or a talent that we share with other people. So the world, I believe, and I talk about this often, the world's going to miss out if you don't use the gifts that you're supposed to use for this journey, Absolutely.
And then, this is also, I'm glad we're talking about this, because that was kind of where it started. And like I said, even now, I think a lot of us as entrepreneurs, and I typically focus on entrepreneurs, so that's why I may say that from time to time, that we don't have a good support system. And entrepreneurship is a lot of ups and downs. It's not always glorious, and a lot of setbacks, if you will, or things that we may interpret as a setback or a failure. So it's so important to have a good support system. And I think sometimes people get so caught up in, well, it should be my mother, it should be my father, or my spouse, or my sister, right?
Right.
But if it is, that's great. If it's not, don't let that stop you. Go outside of that box to connect with other individuals that are supportive and then know what you're going through.
That's good. I'm glad you're talking about that. Listen, everybody, today we are talking with Jacqueline Kaba-Harris, who's talking to us about how to overcome self-esteem issues. And Jacqueline, over on your end, once I told you to share the broadcast, something happened where it ended up, I can hear like an echo. So during the commercial break, if there's a way to just cut if there's extra device or something, cut it down for me. Or if not, then it might need to have some headphones. I don't want us to have any problem the whole broadcast where it's an echo and then you don't get a chance to have a great experience. So listen, everybody, we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Only way we can do that is through people like Jacqueline that come on and to share. Yeah, it went away, Jacqueline. But it went away. Thank you. So that's why I kept on talking. I'm like, hey, like mic check. Anyway, so the only way we're able to do that is through the support of you all that support the Kim Jacobs Show. So make sure you know that throughout the broadcast is scrolling below ways that you can be an online contributor and a partner with our program. And as we said that on this week, I meant to tell everybody, I'm glad this popped up here. On July, from this week now through July 17th, all week long, I have a summer clearance going on. You can get, I watched the Kim Jacobs Show. This one right here is filled with my actual beverage, but it's I Am a Mother Dreamer. And it's a Mother Dreamer. I have a Mother Dreamer movement. So people that are a part of that movement love those. And t-shirts, you have t-shirts and all kinds of things that you can get right on the Kim Jacobs Show merchandise page. So this week, take advantage of our summer clearance and know that that's available. Today's episode is sponsored by Snow Legal Group. They're located snowlegal.com. They're located in the Charlotte and also in the South Carolina area. Attorney Snow just recently won a huge case where a man was wrongfully convicted of murder and spent 5 years away from his family. I like to tell that story because he was able to win that case along with his client, and now the man is home safely with his family. So if you have any kind of things that you're not sure what to reach out to an attorney about, reach out to Attorney Kenneth Snow and let him know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you his way. He offers a free consultation if you say you heard about him on the Kim Jacobs Show, 704-358-0026. And you can also email them at info@snowlegal.com. So let's take a quick commercial break to hear about them. And we're going to come back and talk with Jacqueline Kaba-Harris right after this break. Wow. I can't wait. And just so you know, Jacqueline, we're going to go into just talking about how you were able to rebuild your self-esteem, because I want viewers to know that early on in case they have questions that they want to ask pertaining to that. Okay.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone. We are back with Jacqueline Kaba-Harris, and I want to hear from you. What was your process in rebuilding your self-esteem?
Okay, so I'm just going to share 3 tips that people can start implementing right away.
Okay.
So tip number 1 is to regularly, and we'll get into regularly in a second, put yourself outside of your comfort zone. You know, I know you hear people talk about it a lot. What do they say? Get comfortable being uncomfortable. You know, and a lot of times we say that, but we don't really do it, right? Or we do it just so sporadically that it doesn't really, you know, it's not as effective as it can be. So that would be number 1.
And what does that look like before we go to the next tip? Because regularly putting yourself out of your comfort zone looks like what for those that are all they know is all they know. So they're stuck in their comfort zone. Okay.
So what I would suggest is if there's something that an idea or something that you want to do or that you admire in others, let's just say, I don't know. And let me just throw something out there. Let's say if you always wanted to learn how to play the piano, right? Just throw that out there.
Right.
Then do it. Like that would be something that would, challenge you. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good.
And yeah, so something like that. Or maybe something like maybe at your job, maybe they're, I don't know, quarterly, they select different, what do you call it? Like maybe team leaders or something like that.
Right. Volunteer.
Right. And that might be something that you typically shy away from. You know, next time that, or at your church or whatever, maybe if you're in a sorority or, whatever activity you do. And maybe,
I love it.
when they suggest it, you kind of look over here, you do one of those kind of things. But when that comes up, you say, you know what, I'll do it this time.
I'll take it. And that's actually a learned skill. And I do agree with you, Jacqueline, that there are many times, especially when we're all busy, and I know for me, I'm a mom and I'm always doing different things. So when I get asked to do other things, I'll be like, oh, no, I'm good. But then I've decided that I'm not going to just turn everything down, because again, how am I going to salt the earth if I don't get the opportunity to utilize some of the gifts that God may have given me? And the gifts all look different for everybody. And I think that's, from my perspective anyway, it's important for people to know that you don't have to compare what God gave you to what God gave somebody else. It's okay for you to use your gifts and your talents at the level that he gave them to you, because that's why he gave it to you. Anyway. Okay. So listen, if you all want to come onto the screen, this is a link that I put right here in the comment sections. You can click on it and you can come on and ask your question directly to Jacqueline Kaba-Harris, and she'll be able to answer it for you right here. So tip number 1 is regularly put yourself out of your comfort zone. All right. Tip number 2. So,
and I just want to piggyback real quick and say that, just like you said, that this is all customized, because what may be, sense of anxiety for you may be easy for me, and vice versa. Right. So it depends on you, and what you struggle with or what you shy away from. So tip number 2 is to always celebrate your wins. I don't care how big or how small they are. I know for me, I used to never, Kim, and I'm serious when I say this, ladies and gentlemen, I used to never celebrate my wins. It was almost as if, it was a learned behavior. I was always told that don't waste time celebrating and quote unquote patting yourself on the back. You need to move on to the next goal.
Wow.
You need to figure out what's the next step.
That's good advice that you're giving. Good advice.
And the thing is, that's good. Yes. So you don't, become stagnant. You don't become immobilized and things of that nature. Yes. But everything in balance. It is perfectly fine. This is what I had to learn. It's perfectly fine and welcome. And I should be doing this, celebrating. Even if you're going to start a podcast and maybe you come up with the name of the podcast, or maybe you get your first guest on the podcast, maybe you come up with, you figure out what platform you're going to use. Celebrate that, because what happens is it motivates you. It motivates you to keep going. It gives you, encouragement, because you have to be your number one supporter.
That's right? If you don't celebrate yourself, how you're teaching other people that they don't even know how to celebrate you, because they don't even see you being excited about what you say you're excited about. Exactly. It's like, I don't even see you so fired up, so why would I celebrate it? So it's so important. That's a great tip. Tip number 3.
Tip number 3, support system. Meaning, watch who you are surrounding yourself with. Haven't you noticed that maybe if you go to a particular, maybe you go on vacation with some friends, or maybe you go to a conference and it's all about women's empowerment. You're there with other like-minded women, right? That are taking action, that believe in themselves, that vision or feel good about themselves, feel that they can achieve whatever goal it is they want to achieve, and you feel great, right? You feel like you're on top of the world.
Right.
So just think about that. And then maybe you come back to your regular, everyday life, so to speak. And, things begin to change. You begin to doubt yourself. You begin to feel that maybe what I'm doing is a waste of time. No one is going to want to buy services from me. No one's going to want to watch my show or read my book, right? And a lot of times that has to do with the people that are in your ear.
That's right.
They're constantly saying things like, there's 1,000,001 of those self-help books. What makes you think people are going to buy your self-help book?
Right.
Why do you think people are going to watch your show? Who are you? Who's going to buy this package from you? So on and so forth, right?
That's good. Good. Actually, I have a guest here that's in the studio audience that's saying that she has low self-esteem. Chantel Patterson, she said, I have low self-esteem. Any advice that you'd give to her? She's come up to the mic to profess that kind of.
Well, you know what? First, I want to say thank you. It takes so much courage to say something like that, you know, because no one runs around saying, oh, I got low self-esteem. Oh, I need more confidence. You know what I mean? I think typically people try to mask it with what they wear and who they associate with. So I really appreciate you, sis, for saying that. So one of these tips, I would say maybe start off by celebrating yourself. First of all, what I recommend a lot of times with clients is just sit down and really think about some of the accomplishments that you've had in your life, or different things that you might say, well, what have I done? Or different things that maybe you thought you weren't going to be able to do, and you not just pulled it off, but it was great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, think about some of those times, whether it's, you know, raising a child, or you know, helping your child with their homework, or getting them enrolled into a good school, or maybe getting
That's right.
what do you call it, a promotion at your job, or, you know, extra duties or something.
Well, Chantel, for example, she's in school right now. So she actually is in school pursuing an educational goal of hers. And so that's a major win, a major win. And so there's a group of all of us that are supporting her and believing in her on her journey and just encouraging her. So to have you come on today to speak about this is incredible, to encourage her even further. And Chantel, also in my book, Extreme Balance Makeover, not just for Chantel, but for anybody, I talk about that. And one of the components is how to celebrate yourself and give specific steps on how to do that as well. But celebrating your wins is what Jacqueline Kaba-Harris is saying here today, and making sure that you have those support systems. Watch who you surround yourself with. If you're surrounding yourself with people that are in your ear saying you can't do it, even if they're not saying it, but they're like, if they side-eyeing you all the time, they still saying it, they're just not saying it, you know. It doesn't matter. So okay, good.
Can I also say this, Kim?
Yes.
I think that especially for us as women, and especially for African American women, it's almost like, and I'm using a strong word, everybody, but just to prove a point, almost like it's taboo to celebrate ourselves. You know what I mean? I mean, think about that. You know, a lot of times if someone compliments themselves, it's like, oh, well, who does she think she is? And you not all that, you know, that kind of thing. And I don't know what that mindset is, but we do a lot, you know, and a lot of times, like, I know when I think about my moms, my grandmother, my aunts, you know, we just kind of take a licking and just keep on ticking. It's never any time to, you know, self-evaluate, or to say, maybe I need some help, or maybe this isn't working, or maybe, you know what, I just don't feel like that today. You know what I mean? It's like, I think we're always expected just to kind of suck it up and just keep going.
Yeah, you know? and that may not be a low self-esteem issue. You just might need some rest.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? And then that goes into self-care, but that's another one of the tips.
That's a whole different topic, but the self-care goes hand in hand with self-esteem, because the more you care about yourself, the better you feel about yourself, and obviously the better you can project yourself. So I agree with you. So I need a few of these things. I want to learn, and I love to learn and share new things. Thank you, Chantel. Good morning. Good morning to you. Let's see any other people that are on here too. We really appreciate your comments, Chantel. Keep them coming. Paula, welcome. You said love it, love it. Okay, welcome and glad to have you. And I also see your hand clapping, Lena, as well. So glad to have you today. Any of you that have questions, feel free to ask your specific questions, as Chantel has already paved the way. She's like, okay, let me not worry about who else is on here. I'm at the mic talking about me. And I love that. And I celebrate that in you, Chantel. I am moving forward with my goals and my dreams. Congratulations to you, Chantel. We're proud of you. Very proud of you. Okay. So, you know, as parents too, Jacqueline, this is a question that came from Cassandra Davis, and she works with the Kim Jacobs Show, but she was saying that you observe your children on the playground and you see them just living life and enjoying themselves. But at the end of the day, you don't know if what they're experiencing is going to lend to them having low self-esteem, or even as parents, if we're going to be doing some things that are not as sensitive to our children, and then we don't even know we've done it, and now hence in the future they're like, hey, you damaged me, you don't even know. You're like, huh? So I'm not probably wording it at the level that she did, because you heard it backstage and you get the gist of it, right? So talk to us about that sensitivity in dealing with our children, or what we observe in our children.
So one of the first things that comes to mind is, if you notice that they don't want to be seen, they don't want to be seen, they don't want to be heard, they don't want any attention called to themselves, they're kind of shrinking back, does that make sense? I don't know if
yeah, that makes sense.
My head.
But if children don't want to be seen or heard, that's a sign,
right? That they don't want any attention on themselves. You know what I mean? Like they don't, and sometimes it may be masked as just being bashful or just being shy, which obviously it could be. But if you notice that they never want to raise their hands, or never want to give an answer, or maybe if they start an answer, like if the teacher asks a question and they answer, they're like, well, maybe such and such. You know what I mean?
Right. Really reserved to
Right.
the point where it's concerning. Okay.
Right.
If your children don't want to be seen or heard, that is a sign that they may be struggling with not everyone. That obviously she's not talking about everyone. Some people are just introverted and they still self-confident. They just don't want to be dealing with, they prefer to be in the background. But if you know that it's a pattern and it's a habit, that they won't, like, maybe, I'm not sure, never confident in any way, that's definitely a sign, is what she's saying. So good. Any other advice pertaining to that we can look out for as parents?
Yes, if they never, if they're always in an adult world, we call it people pleasing, So the same thing, like if they never want to, if they're always overly concerned, and I probably said this is probably more so for little girls, but if they're overly concerned about everybody else, everyone else's needs, right? And they never really stop to think, well, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to do that? Is that the movie you want to see? Or is that, I don't know, is that the dress you wanted to buy? Or did so-and-so tell you needed to buy that dress, or you look pretty, whatever, you know what I mean? So if they're always overly concerned with others, and that's
good.
And don't get me wrong, that is to say you shouldn't be concerned or considerate or compromise. But if it's like you're not even in the picture, like it doesn't even matter how you feel.
That's good. And then, that speaks to some things. I know my daughter, I'll try to have her do certain things, dress a certain way and different things. And she's like, I don't really like that. And so I was like, you know what? If you don't like it, don't wear it. Simple as that. Why do I have to force her to be some kind of way that she's not interested in being in that regard? And people will give you feedback and be like, oh, you need to dress her more and da 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 da, or whatever the case. I'm just not talking about just my daughter, but in life, people give feedback or on what they think it should look like, or what they think it should be from their perspective. But they don't live with you, and they don't know how something is making your child feel when you're imposing certain things on the child. Does that make sense?
Yes, because that happened with my mom all the time. My mother she was a bling bling person, and she wanted me to bling, I was like, Mom, I don't like that. We kind of go back and forth. But as I got older, she's like, Mom, that's your style. You wear it well. I don't. Let me just have my own. I have my own style. You may not think it's much of a style, but it works for me. It makes me feel comfortable.
Well, that's my daughter. Like she's very comfortable. She likes. I've now established the type of clothing and where to buy it from, because I used to get like consignment stuff, and I was like, I realized that in the tag, all of the things that she was like, I love this, was from a specific store. I was like, that's gonna be my new shopping place for my daughter, and everything that I bring from there for her, guess what? She's madly in love with it because it's comfortable. It's like just relaxed, and she can kind of do her gardening or whatever, and it's so much fun. So I think that that's a great answer that you're giving to really pay attention to those signs and not play up on them, but I don't know. For me, I do a thing in my book I talk about called individual family plan, where we customize what the area of focus needs to be for our children. And then so if we see confidence and they lack confidence, then that's the hone in area. And what can we do to get some tools, some resources, some videos, some mentorship, whatever about that particular area, you know?
Yeah. You know, and it's like kids are, you know, that's why they have child psychologists and pediatricians, you know. So sometimes things that work for adults or symptoms that we see in adults, sometimes it may be different for kids and sometimes they're very similar.
Right.
You know, the two things that I just mentioned are very similar, you know, in adults and children as well. And it would be the same thing, like how you mentioned about kind of honing in. It would be the same, you know, the same thing. Like for example, the first one I said was taking yourself outside of your comfort zone, which is one of the reasons why when the child does some form of sports or maybe if they're on the chess team, a sport team, or, you know what I mean? It allows them to build confidence in themselves.
That's good. That's really, really good. So I'm excited about everything that we're talking about. If you all have questions or comments, please let us know. Here I see you, Pastor Clarissa Blissett. She says, this is some good stuff. Yes. So she's a part of our Mother Dreamer movement, and she does everything that's digital. So if you ever need some assistance with some digital work, whether it's websites or any kind of digital, she does like movie trailers, you name it, she does it. She's also dealing with publishing of books as well. So you definitely can reach out to Clarissa Walton Blissett. Let her know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you her way. And she has some great stuff to offer over there as one of our Mother Dreamer movement mothers. If you haven't joined the Mother Dreamer movement, make sure you like that on Facebook as well. So Jacqueline, this is outstanding information on how to improve our self-esteem. So why is it important from your perspective in business? Because it's one thing to have self-esteem just in walking around in everyday life, but why is it important for women in particular to have higher self-esteem, higher confidence when it comes to doing business transactions? We're going to hear your answer right after this commercial break, okay? All right, everybody. So we're going to take a moment to learn about Silver Shield Security. Silver Shield Security has state-of-the-art equipment, great customer service. And when you reach out to them, let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. Let's learn more about them now.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, we are back with Jacqueline. Let me again let you know that Silver Shield Security, I have Silver Shield Security, and I love the service. Their phone number is 704-440-4688. And you can also go to their website, silvershield-security.com, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you there. All right, Jacqueline. So why is it important from a business perspective to have higher self-esteem?
So when you are an entrepreneur, you have a business, you're also selling yourself, right? So whatever your product, whether it's a physical product or whether it's, I don't know, what's the opposite of physical, whether it's a service, let's just say, you know,
right,
increasing your confidence services, or whether you're selling hair or beauty product, clothes, whatever, right? You have to believe in that product.
You better believe it.
You have to believe in it, and you have to be confident, if you will, about that product, and confident about, so let's say with my services or any coach or consultant, you have to be confident in your ability, right, to be able to help this individual transform their lives. Because that's really what you're selling. You're selling the transformation, right? You're selling what them being at point A and they want to get to point B.
That's right.
So you are the vehicle to assist them along that transformation process, which is getting them from point A to point B. And if you don't believe it, right, then how are they going to believe it? It's like if you don't believe in yourself and your abilities to be able to assist this person, whether it's making a website for them, whether it's helping them increase their confidence, whether it's helping them lose weight, whatever, you have to believe it. You have to have a certain amount of confidence in order for people to be able to buy into you and to buy into your vision. And that's what they're doing. They have to buy into your vision because of the fact that there's a lot of confidence coaches out there. But what makes the difference is when someone, is able to relate to you and they feel that not only that they recognize that they need some work in that area, and that's okay, right? You need some work in that area, but that you choose this particular person as the person to do it.
Okay, so this is good. So you have to have a certain level of belief in your own skill set from a business perspective to be able to even win somebody over enough for them to utilize your services in that particular area, is what I'm hearing. So that's really good.
Exactly.
Really good.
Because like it or not, as a business owner, to a certain extent, you're a leader. Whether you are instructing those individuals, all of your team members, or your followers, if you're an influencer, right? You are a leader. You are putting yourself in a leadership role. And in order to be able to more effectively do that, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your abilities. If you don't, you might be able to, some people say fake it till you make it. You may be able to fake it for a little while, but that's not going to sustain you, and it's not going to allow you to create the level of success that you want to.
That's really good. As a business owner, you are a leader, whether you believe you are or not. So if you're going to be leading other people, you have to step up and really have enough confidence to get them on board with what it is that you're even trying to persuade them to do. Other than that, it's just not going to work for you at all. Okay. And you also said that you help people create effective strategies to address negative self-talk and self-sabotaging behavior that hinder their development. And that's personally and in business. What are some of the negative self-talk things that people do to themselves, whether they know it or not?
One big one is, I'm sure you've heard a lot about, people feel that they call it imposter syndrome. It's basically, it's rooted in the belief that I'm not enough. So it's almost like you have I can't what you ever seen on TV where they have like a little person on each shoulder. This person over here is the positive.
Right.
You can do it. You got this. Another person over here is like, please
stop it now. You're gonna fail miserably. You're gonna make a fool of yourself.
Right.
Right.
Now go home. Save yourself the embarrassment. So, and again, like you said, it's customized because everybody's like mine. Mine is, I'm not that smart. I'm not gonna be able to figure it out. I'm not gonna be able to pull it off. Maybe for someone else, it may be that they're not enough, or maybe their story doesn't matter. So whatever that is for you.
Wow.
And one of the common ones is a lot of people with the imposter syndrome is that they don't feel that they're enough. They don't feel that they have what it takes, or the qualities, or the know-how to be able to effectively run a business.
That's good. So but that's learned. So if you're having difficulty, I'm just typing what you're saying here. Okay, so let's see. You said, this is some good stuff. Examples of negative self-talk. It is rooted in the belief that I am not enough. I am not that smart. I'm not enough. My story doesn't matter. These are all things that are just some examples from Jacqueline Kaba-Harris, and it's telling us ways that we sabotage ourselves. And so Camille Sanders said, hey, this is on point. I struggle in this area. This is helping me so much. And Camille, I want to commend you, Camille. You just recently did an Instagram post, and I just happened to come across it. And I love celebrating people, Jacqueline. And so when I saw her post, I thought it was just so edifying and uplifting. And it wasn't even about her. The post was nothing to do with her. It was the fact that she wanted just anybody that had anything positive that was happening in their lives. Even she said, no matter, and that's what she said actually, and she didn't even know this was going to be talked about right now. But she said, no matter how small the win is, no matter how small of an accomplishment it is, I want to celebrate it with you. So if you don't follow Camille Sanders' Instagram page, make sure you guys check it out and support her, because she's trying to support other people on this journey in life just through positivity and inspiration. So keep it up, Camille. I did peep that the other day. I like celebrating people. I think we should all celebrate each other. There's more than enough room in the world, I promise you, for us to all utilize our gifts. Your gift does not take away from my gift. Your church does not take away from my church. And Pastor Lamont Josie, I'm probably going to talk about him forever in this regard. But he said, listen, y'all, we ain't in no gangs. If you go to somebody else's church, doesn't mean that you have to like not be able to come to somebody else's church. Sometimes you can support. You can still like the comments and say, I like what the pastor's saying about stuff. So it's okay to support each other. I loved hearing that. We're not in gangs, y'all. If you have a show, I want to see your show. I want your show to be huge, to be overwhelmingly successful. Don't you? Don't you want the best for everybody?
Yes. And you're right. It's not, sometimes people think that if they celebrate someone else, that that's somehow showing some sort of weakness, in their area, or somehow maybe taken away from them. When, like you said, there's more than enough, and who is for you is for you.
That's right.
Or people may like the Kim Jacobs show. They may like my 8 Queens Roundtable show. They may like Camille's show. They may tune in to you on one day and tune in to me on another day.
Right. And even if it's at the same time, they may not be able to tune into the Kim Jacobs show every day on that time, because they want to hop and get to Jacqueline Kaba's show, at least when she's on there too, once or twice a week or 3 times a week. It's like, look, I need to split this up. I like everybody, So it's okay. It is okay. Good morning to you, Mommy. I see you, and you're welcome, Camille. Keep your comments coming and keep your inspiration going. All right, Jacqueline. So negative self-talk, that can really, if it's not about other people kicking you out of the race, you can kick yourself out of the race when you are doing that, right?
Yes. So when I say negative self-talk, again, it's that little negative voice in your head. Like, haven't you ever gotten excited about something, and the more you thought about it, you kind of talked yourself out of it? Like, nobody had to say anything to you. You started out up here, I'm gonna do this, and then all of a sudden it works down to, I'm not gonna do any of this. What, who am I fooling? Kind of a thing. So a lot of times we do it to ourselves. We do it to ourselves by saying things like, I'm not enough. I don't have the resources. I don't have the money. I don't have the time. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. On and on and on. We do it to ourselves a lot of times.
Right.
And the thing of it is, and I don't want you to beat yourself up about it, but what I'm saying is that just to be aware of it, in order to correct or work towards a solution, you have to first acknowledge it. Like the other young lady said earlier, I need to work on some things in that area.
Right.
Oh, and then also that's a distinction too, because sometimes we may be confident in one area or have self-confidence in one area, but maybe not in another area. So
that's good.
Yeah. So, okay, but I don't want to go off topic. I'm sorry. So you.
Oh, no. This is great discussion, because what you're sharing is stuff that people can apply in every aspect of their lives. So we are so on topic today with Jacqueline Kaba-Harris talking to us about being able to overcome self-esteem issues and have better confidence. Today's episode is also sponsored by attorney Charles Everage with Hunter-Everage Law Firm. They are injury and disability attorneys. And if you're dealing with wrongful death of a loved one, or you're dealing with workers' compensation, or you may be just dealing with like Social Security disability and don't know where to even start, or you've been denied and you're like, now what do I do? Don't give up. Reach out to attorney Everage, and their area is in the Richmond, Virginia, and also in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. Phone number is 704-377-9157, and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. So let's learn more about them and the services that they offer now.
When someone has lost a loved one, they want to know what exactly happened. They want to know, is the other person going to be held responsible? And they want closure. At Hunter-Everage, we help clients that have lost a loved one move on, and to do that with dignity and respect that they deserve.
All right, everyone, and we are back with Jacqueline Kaba-Harris and talking to us today about overcoming issues dealing with self-esteem, negative self-talk, and how to have better self-confidence. So if this applies to you or anyone you know, I encourage you to invite them to be a part of today's broadcast just simply by tagging them. And also you can start watch parties later and let people know that as well. So I gave you the phone number. Yes. All right. So, and if you ever want to support, which I encourage you to support the Kim Jacobs Show, because this show airs Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every weekday, just like you have all of these other shows out here. You have The View, you have Ellen, you have all of this stuff on OWN and different things. The Kim Jacobs Show is on Monday through Friday. It's across many different platforms. So you may be watching on one platform, but it's on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Deezer, Spotify, you name it, iTunes. It's also on Facebook and on YouTube and all kinds of different platforms. So make sure you support the program and partner with us to bring balance to the world, one household at a time. Jacqueline, talk to us some more about the importance of self-confidence. You said you have a host, you're hosting a show. We want to know about that. We also need to know about your overall company. You have a company that you want to talk to us about. Tell us some stuff about what you have going on so we can capture it.
Okay, so the actual name of my company is Realizing Your Potential. And
say it again.
Realizing Your Potential. And there's a few things that happen under that umbrella. Oh, excuse me. One of the things is I do a weekly show. Well, it's weekly now. It used to be bi-weekly, but I do it every Sunday now. And it's called A Queen's Roundtable Show. And it's specifically geared towards helping African-American women scale their businesses. So I bring on guests and we talk about entrepreneurship, you know, the ups and the downs, different obstacles in which they overcome. And we always end on a educational note with something that they can take and put in their toolbox to be able to, develop themselves personally, personally and or professionally. And
your show is what days?
It's on Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's the Queen's Roundtable?
It's called A Queen's Roundtable Show.
A Queen's. There's a lot of queens out here, y'all. A Queen's Roundtable Show. Mm-hmm. And that's, you can find this information right on her website at Realizing Your Potential 123. That's on Facebook, and Realizing Your Potential 123.com. Everything that she's doing is right there, but I want to make sure I put it here in the comments section too. So a Queen's Roundtable Show. Mm-hmm. This is awesome. I want to make sure I pop that up here because this is really good information. So listen, if you want to have some different tools, Chantel, everybody that's watching, go to a Queen's Roundtable Show on Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're going to hear from entrepreneurs, business owners, and they're going to give you some tips and strategies on how you can apply these things to your life immediately. You're going to have some things right in your toolbox that's going to help you on your journey. Yay.
So that's the A Queen's Roundtable Show. And I also do an A Queen's Roundtable Quarterly Symposium, which is coming up in September. And the focus on that is to provide quality personal, professional, and leadership development to other women in business. Again, to help them scale and to begin to, increase visibility and increase the profitability in their business.
That's good. And this is going to be in September.
Yep, I do it quarterly, January, May, and September.
Excellent. So there's going to be a summit for you all to participate in as well. And for all of us that want to be a part of it, you're going to be able to learn more about that by just going directly to Jacqueline's Facebook page, or that's all the information right there. Realizing Your Potential 1, 2, 3. I love that. Why did you name it Realizing Your Potential 1, 2, 3?
I knew you was going to ask that, and I don't know how I knew that, but when I originally started, what originally came to mind, and I haven't thought about it in a while, to be perfectly honest, but it was to increase your self-esteem and self-confidence in 3 ways. I think it was through, I think, accountability, purposefulness, and there was a third one, and I can't remember what it was.
That's because you've gotten so far beyond your initial, you know how you have your initial passion and the reason why you are starting something, right? And then you be like, okay, but you mastered that. Then once you master it, you go on and be like, why did I do that again back in the day? And then, you know, once you got a handle on it, it's like, okay, now you've already conquered it. But others of us want the basics 1, 2, and 3. You know, so
right, because it was to realize your potential. It was specifically to help African American women, and not even focusing on entrepreneurs initially, but to help women themselves realize their potential. And it was through, like I said, purposefulness, accountability, and
the third one will come to you right at the after party. That's it's going. See, y'all will have to tune into the after party for the third piece. Okay, but regardless, you want to definitely go to Realizing Your Potential 123.com, and you can also follow her on Clubhouse and on Instagram and on Facebook. Realizing Your Potential on Clubhouse is RYP LLC, which is Realizing Your Potential LLC on Clubhouse. How often do you go live on Clubhouse?
Not often enough. What I've been doing, what I want to do is when I do my shows, I actually want to figure out a way to be able to do those on Clubhouse.
I know, that's the same here. So we're in the same. You know what? I started doing Clubhouse with Kim Jacobs show and everything, and I was doing that as an extra day. But I was like, look here, I'm the balanced dog. I have plenty that I need to balance. I don't need all these extra assignments outside of having the clients that I already have I'm teaching them how to start their own shows from scratch and how to improve their presentation skills online. Now I'm doing Clubhouse once a day. I said, I need to do what you're talking about. We're going to learn how to let the show go live for that same hour. Other than that, I don't know. I'll be on there when I come and hear you in different places. I go and listen to everybody else, but I'm like, I need to figure out how to link the show. And it just go, here it is, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Clubhouse and all houses. How about that?
All houses. I know, because I'm gonna figure out a way to do it, because like you said, that way, you know, it's kind of bringing everything together.
There is a way. Shannon has been looking into it for us, and she told me the way, but I just have to do the connecting of it. So she's probably like, Kim, you only have one job. I told you how we're gonna do this, but you have to do the connecting of the dots. And that's interesting too, because when it comes to learning, Jacqueline, how to be better in an area, sometimes we have the knowledge, but we don't always execute it. Right. I wonder why that's the case. Any thoughts on that from a self-esteem perspective?
How we have the knowledge and we don't execute it?
Right, like we have the knowledge and we know it can be done, but sometimes we just sit on our laurels and don't. It's like, okay. And I can only speak for myself. Sometimes I do that.
I think because, just off the top of my head, I think sometimes there's some sort of negative thoughts associated with it.
Thought so.
And it may be on a subconscious level that we're not aware of.
I knew that was the answer. I just wanted to hear you say it so everybody else could hear, because I literally do that sometimes periodically, and it's always a rationale behind it. And I actually know what the rationale is. I'll say it to myself, and I'm like, Kim, you know, you're not doing this because of XYZ or because of whatever. And it's self-talk. When if I just go ahead and do it, it probably would be just beautiful. But it's like, why would you not do it? I thought you said you're salting the earth. I thought you said that God has all of this work for you to do. So why would you not do that? And then you get these opportunities. And then later, sometimes I even regret it. I'd be like, I should have did that. Why didn't I do that?
Yep. Why didn't I do it? You know, Okay, actually, can I mention one more thing?
You can mention everything.
Two more things.
You can mention all of them.
So one,
three. How about three? No, just jokes. Go ahead.
but no, two. I may come up with a third one, but two. So I wanted to also mention that recently, as of June 1st, I've become the executive channel producer, right, of the Eight Queens Roundtable channel on the Women Win Network.
Oh my
Women Win
gosh.
Television Network. Women
Now,
Win.
see, how would you not have mentioned that on today's episode? Isn't that so important and special?
Yes, and I am so excited. So I'm actively seeking show hosts to join my channel. So I wanted to put that out there. So if you have a show, existing show, you want to take it, you want to expand your brand, more visibility, take it across more platforms. It's on Roku and Amazon Fire TV.
Awesome.
So I wanted to mention that to the ladies.
That is huge.
Or,
What if we had ended the show and you didn't hear that? That would have been the thing on your show to say, and you should have said about a Queen's on-demand type of show network that you have, and you didn't even say it. So then I was like, oh, we're going to get this in. We're going to get this in.
I was like, I got to let them know. And then the second thing was, I remember what the third thing was. So it was to help African-American women realize their potential through purposefulness, inspiration, and accountability.
Purposefulness. What else? Accountability.
And inspiration.
And inspiration. That is what real 1, 2, 3 stands for. Okay, we got it. We got that in there today, y'all. Okay, so the 1, 2, 3 component is purposefulness, accountability, and inspiration. You heard it right here from Jacqueline Kaba-Harris. And I see your comment coming in as a Facebook user. You didn't say your name, but just tell us anyway who you are. Congratulations, Jacqueline. So that's another comment that came in today. And you can stay connected with her at realizingyourpotential123.com. And aren't you speaking at the upcoming Power Up Summit?
Yes.
Tell us what you're going to be talking about a little bit, because I know this is going to be
about confidence.
About confidence.
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to be sharing a lot more in-depth tips. If you want to hear even more tips, this powerhouse is going to be speaking at the upcoming Power Up Summit. And let me pull up the information pertaining to that. It's going to take place on July 14th through the 18th, 2021. If you haven't registered for your free ticket, all you have to do is go to time2powerup.com, time2powerup.com. If you have not heard from the visionary herself, I want to give you an opportunity to hear from Kern Cherry now. This woman, as modest as she is, she's putting together one of the best international conferences known to mankind for free for you.
Did somebody say power up? I'm your host and creator of Power Up International Virtual Summit, coming to you July the 14th through the 18th. Yes, I'm Kern Cherry, your butts in the seat queen, and I want to encourage you to join us on that international stage as a speaker, vendor, sponsor, panelist. Join us right now. Go to powerupsummit.com, powerupsummit.com, and join us right now. Register so that you can be a part of the 5-day conference, 5-day summit coming to you in July the 14th through the 18th, powerupsummit.com. Register right now. It is free. Of course, we are going to be bigger and even better. Powerupsummit.com. I'm Kern Cherry, host, creator, and visionary behind powerupsummit.com. Register right now, powerupsummit.com.
All right, everyone. That's Karen Cherry herself. And I will share with you the website so you'll know exactly where to go to register for this free event. And it is, again, it's going to be life-changing. It starts July 14th. And you have international speakers from around the world. We know many of them, and definitely Kim Coles and Lisa Nichols we're very familiar with, and many others that I'm sure you noticed here. It's going to be 5 days of connecting and being able to create and contribute. If you haven't registered, go ahead and do that. time2powerup.com. And if you get a chance to say that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you, please make sure you take advantage of that and do that. All right, everybody. I am going to prepare to close out. But Jacqueline, I wanted to hear, do you have any final closing comment that you say, I should have said that voice? You should have said this, but the show's about to end and you didn't.
So a final comment would be, don't be embarrassed or ashamed if you need some work in this area, because everything stems from your belief in yourself, your confidence in your self-confidence. Everything stems from that.
Yes. That's really, you've shared so many wonderful tips today on this episode. And make sure you check out the Queen's Roundtable Summit coming up in September. Make sure every Sunday at 3:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you get a chance to watch her show, which is Queen's Roundtable Show, and stay connected with her at Realizing Your Potential 123, Purposefulness, Accountability, and Inspiration, which is Realizing Your Potential 123.com. All right. And I see, my mom said, congratulations, Jacqueline.
Thank you, Mom.
I'm so glad you're on, Mom. All right, everybody. On tomorrow, I want to make sure that you know, let me pull this up right quick to give you a heads up, that tomorrow we have a relationship expert, international relationship expert. Dr. Elaine is going to be right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. She's going to be answering questions pertaining to I got you. Okay. She's going to be answering questions pertaining to your comments and your questions pertaining to relationships. She is an expert in this area, international, has been on all kinds of international platforms, and we love to be able to have you be in the studio audience. And on Thursday, we have Dr. Frederick Jones. He talks about finding love after 60. And he has a great story to tell. Wait till you hear his story. Friday is Freestyle Friday. We talk about all of the topics that matter to you. And we have some of our experts coming on. Like, for example, we have our sunshine expert that's going to be coming on. And she's going to tell you how to bring a little bit more sunshine to your day and your life. We also have, we have someone that survived domestic violence and literally wrote a book called Gracefully Broken. She's going to be talking about some survivor tips and things. We have different experts that come on. We also have credit repair, credit transformation. The transformer herself will be on. So Friday, you don't want to miss that episode because it's some good stuff. And we have a young man that was a part of the Biggest Loser competition. And he was on one of the seasons. I think it was season 3. But anyway, he's lost significant weight, but he's now an official relationship expert. He's going to be on Friday as well. You are in for a treat the rest of this week on the Kim Jacobs Show. Jacqueline, you've made my heart glad today.
Thank you.
You're amazing.
This was so awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me.
And everybody subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to the Kim Jacobs Show, make sure you subscribe. Turn your notification bell to all and go back and watch some of those episodes. It gives more watch time. If you go back and actually watch the episodes on YouTube, it gives us more watch time. People don't know how to help you if you don't say, this is what I need you to do. I need you to go watch some episodes. Okay, everybody watch those episodes on the YouTube channel. And then it gives us more watch time saying that this is recommended videos and stuff. All right, everybody. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. You have made me feel more confident. And I have better self-esteem thanks to you today. And I really do feel much better as a result of you being on the show today.
Good. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
Thank you. We'll see you Sunday on the Queen's Roundtable Show.
Yes. Thank you. And
all right, everybody. Have a great day. And I'll see you tomorrow at 11:00 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. God bless you. everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.